This is Frankie. As I've told you before in the past, a little bit about Frankie, I'll tell you all of this. We went to the pet store one day to get some parakeets, and we found Frankie. Now, we didn't find him actually. My daughter seen him and her and said, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And I said, what? Kind of scared me for a minute. And she said, I've always wanted one of those. I seen a girl on TV or YouTube or something, and she said, and she loved it. She absolutely loved it, and I want one too. So we went over to the woman that it was in the pet store, and we started talking to her about the bird. Well, she said she did not know much about Frankie. All she knew was a few months ago, someone dropped Frankie off, and there was 3 of them. 3 corners off. Once again, I did not know what a corner was. I just knew it was a bird. So she said that someone at their breeders or a breeder brought 3 of them in. That's what was in the cage at the time. Like I told you before, it was an open like the parakeets have at the bottom. There was 3 of them in there. So she said that she did not know much of anything about corners, and that all she knew was that you had to put gloves on to pick them up. Well, my daughter still was like, I want it, I can't stand it, I want it, I want it, I want it, I want it. So I said, okay, if you take care of it, you got it. So when we went to take him out, the man that was in the store was taking us out and talking to us, and he said, if you go home and you get your pair of gloves and you pet with the gloves, Frankie, which at the time it, will fall in love with you. So we said okay. So we went and got some gloves. My daughter brought it home, and that was not the case at all. Absolutely not the case at all. She did, however, get the stick, which is like the bar that Frankie's on now. We had an extra one of those, and that is what she taught Frankie to put on and off to get him in and out of the cage. So we still love Frankie, don't get us wrong, but Frankie is a little bit more because of where my daughter took the stick and put Frankie in and off of the stick and things like that. She kind of, as of right now, does more with my daughter than anybody else, which is fine because that's the way her and Frankie bond. Now, Frankie is rotten. I'll tell you that right now. Frankie is a pineapple conure, which we found out. The pineapple conure, now, because I believe that if we had went to the different pet store that we fell in love with so much, if we went there and got Frankie from another person that loved Frankie and, hand-fed Frankie and then brought him to that place and they loved it and tamed her down, I believe Frankie would be just as lovable, if not a little bit more rotten though, than Floyd. Now the reason why I'm saying this is Frankie, if you pay attention to any of the corners of what we've discovered by our research, they are all have a little bit of they will love you one minute and then they'll bite you the next. Floyd's not like that at all. But Frankie has come around a little bit, and that is a good thing. We have gotten told that if you open the cage and you let Frankie out to do whatever, then eventually Frankie will just come to you and start loving on you. We've done that, and Frankie still does not come over to us and love on us. She gets into like the picture frames. I don't know if you all have noticed before, but in our pictures at times we will have aluminum foil up. And that is because we got told that aluminum foil scares them. They don't want to go near it. So we put this up when it comes to the pictures and things. Well, Frankie is like, okay, I'm scared of that. And we're thinking, okay, that's a good thing. Then all of a sudden Frankie goes over there and knocks it down. He doesn't want it up there anymore. Thought you was scared of it, Frankie. So Frankie will try to tear up the picture frames and things like that. But that's Frankie. Now, they will say that they will roll around on your fingers and all that. Frankie's just scared right now of our fingers. And if you pay attention to any corners, that is what they are. They're afraid of your fingers. Frankie does love coming out. Don't get me wrong. We've also got told about target training, which it does work to a point so far with us. If you take a piece of fruit and you go around the cage, Frankie will follow it and she will eat it. And she will go wherever you do. But once you open the cage, Frankie does what Frankie wants to do. She does not want to listen whatsoever. So at times, Frankie has a timeout and has to go in the cage for a little bit, and in a few minutes we'll bring her back out. But this is the story about Frankie. We love Frankie. We're not giving Frankie up. And like someone said, you know, you got to deal with this for a few months, but you're going to be with like 3 months, which has been longer than 3 months. But they say once they do fall in love with you and they get used to you, because yes, Frankie is a wild animal, that you've got them for 30 years to love on you. So let's just hope that's true and Frankie does come around. But that's the story of Frankie.